the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People Part 2, where we're cutting this book in half, and we're only going to be focusing on the last 4 habits. If you wanted to hear the first 3, then go ahead and there's a link in the description below. The reason I separated this is, 1, it's easier to digest, and then 2, these last 4 habits have to do a lot more with working with others and being a manager, being a leader, being in relationships, things like that. Where the first 3 have to deal with yourself, self-improvement. Now, moving into habit number 1 for this video, but habit number 4 of the 7 habits, which is thinking win-win. Thinking about mutually beneficial scenarios, okay? You can't just be thinking about yourself all the time. People don't trust people that constantly get what they want. It's always them, it's their way or the highway. People don't do well with that, right? You're not going to be able to lead a team. You're not going to be able to build strong relationships that way. So instead, for example, if you're a manager, think about how you can have all the people in your organization all on the same board, for a joint goal. And everyone's excited because if you reach the goal, everyone wins, right? Maybe everyone shares the promotion or the award, or, there's some sort of joint goal. And when they get there, everybody wins, versus, just having a manager who takes all the credit, when it's really the team below them that help them get to where they are. Ask people for their consideration, think about their feelings, right? It's not all about you. It's finding mutual win-win scenarios. And some of you might think, well, in business, you want to, maximize profits. You want to maximize what you can get in a certain situation. And there are some situations where that is true. Where, for example, if you're negotiating, like you're selling something on Craigslist or you're selling something online, like you want to get the highest bid you can for that item. And that's okay for a situation in which you're not going to actually be working with that individual in the future. But if you think you're going to be working with this person in the future, whether it's in your relationships, in personal life or business life, you want to make sure that that person trusts you. They know you have good intentions. If you're constantly only looking out for yourself, that will ruin relationships, reduce trust, and in the long term, in my opinion, and in many scenarios, you will lose. Habit number 5, seek first to understand, then to be understood. And very simply, a lot of us are not fully listening. We're already ready with our answer when we're talking to people. We're not fully listening, trying to understand other people's perspectives. We already have our own opinions and we're willing to share them before the other person is even done speaking. So rather than doing that, what we should do is actively listen, stand there, give them eye contact. Don't look at your phone. Give them your full attention. Let them know that you are listening. You can repeat back your words. You can nod, show them some body language. There's a couple tips here to share how you can be a better listener. So you seek to understand them first, then respond. If anything, it's taking your time in a conversation, really giving them that time. That will go a really long way. People will appreciate that. Are your eyes looking? Is your mouth quiet? Are your hands still? Are your feet calm? If it looks like you have to, I'm ready to go somewhere else. I got to go, 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 go. People aren't going to enjoy that. They think you're already done with the conversation. You have somewhere better to be. And so let's give people our undivided attention. Habit number 6, synergize. And, this just seems like a word you would see in a corporate America. And the idea here is, let's work as a team. Let's be open-minded. Let's be, have equity. Let's all, acknowledge everyone else's opinions and work as a team. Part of that I like to think of is, imagine the Thai rescue where they're the boys stuck in the tunnels or caverns in Thailand, and imagine how many people had to work together, both the military, the police, the divers, you had news organizations, just everyone had to pull together to get those kids out of that cave. Right. And that's the power of synergy, is a team of people can conquer almost anything, but a person individually is very limited to their own time, their own skills. So think about working with others and how you can do more as a team, delegating and being able to work on each other. Maybe you have a weakness and this person has a strength, right? Working with other people's strengths and weaknesses to actually be able to complete more than just one, right? We are the sum of all of our parts. And lastly, habit number 7, what you're doing right now, watching this video, which is sharpening your saw. Everything from, practice, being proactive, practice, watching learning a new skill or hobby, practice creativity, practice your patience, practice your listening skills, right? There's so many things that we can all be better at. The minute you start saying, I'm already good at that, that's usually not the mentality of someone who sharpens their saw. Constantly be thinking about how can you be better, right? Could you be better physically fit? Can you be better in your relationships? How do you strengthen your relationships? Are you giving yourself enough time to have a creative outlet, whether that's drawing or writing or recording videos, whatever it might be? So all these things are ways we can improve ourselves, right? And so the old adage is, you see a guy cutting a tree, and you're like, hey, if you sharpen that saw, you can cut the tree faster. It won't take you 5 hours; it'll just take you 2 hours. And he's like, yeah, I don't have time to sharpen the saw. And then they don't realize that they can finish the task much quicker. They stop, sharpen their saw, and then go back. A lot of people are just stuck on the treadmill doing the same thing every day, expecting different results, when that's not necessarily going to happen. Versus the person who stops, sharpens the saw, then moves ahead, could have some significant benefits and time savings and cost savings from that activity. Those are the last 4 habits: thinking win-win, mutual beneficial situations, seeking first to understand, then to be understood, active listening, not listening to respond, but listening just to listen, working on synergy, working in groups, making sure that everyone's voice is being heard, working on strengths in the group, right? Building on top of each other. And then sharpening your saw, self-improvement, working on yourself, constantly improving, will pay dividends in the future. So I hope these habits resonate with you. I strongly suggest you put these in your wallet or reminder, or you revisit them and make sure you work towards them. Whether it's a small step or a big step, it's really these small little things over and over again that make big change. So keep that in mind. Just watching this video has put you ahead. So keep going. You can do it.